What's up, everybody? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. Much appreciated. New Porpoise Pod out now with my guy, Alejandro Solana. If you guys want to check that out for me, mean a lot. If you guys can subscribe, I'll put the link down here in the podcast. For all of you who have, by the way, Monster Month for us. So if you guys can continue to do that. If you haven't checked out the Porpoise Pod, I think you guys will like it a lot. We put out about 3 episodes every single week, diving into the Dolphins, silly sauce style. You guys know how we do it over here. But Dolphins taking on the Jets this week, and no Tua Tagovailoa, officially ruled out. Not surprising. I gotta tell you, you can't get away from the Tua stuff. Just want to say, obviously, very concerned with Tua's health and all that type of stuff. But I'm saying, I'm at the gym yesterday on the elliptical with the old wifey. Not, by the way, a normal elliptical guy. Just it was one of those crowded nights. We got there at 6:30, super packed. So we're on there and just watching, and they got the TVs hanging. It's one of those, gyms where you're on the upstairs looking over, and it's Wolf Blitzer talking about Tua Tagovailoa. I'm just man, can't escape it. Can't escape. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I was surprised it wasn't on every news station breaking it down, but officially ruling it out yesterday. I did notice, and I wonder how he's going to handle all of this, but I did feel for the first time with Mike McDaniel yesterday that we had a head coach who seemed a little bit beaten down by all of this. Now, we don't know how Mike McDaniel is going to react to a loss. And he also just had a very hoarse voice. I don't know if it's the Adam Gase used to get this, his voice would sound like gravel in the middle of the week. It wasn't that disgusting. I would never suggest McCoachin would be as disgusting as Adam Gase. But, you can just tell he seemed a little, I don't know if it was the first loss, the weight of everything. I'm just, as I think only natural it would be, dealing with all of this. You're so prone to being a football robot on everything. And he is more human, I think, than most football robots that go out there and give you the cliches and all that type of stuff. But now you got to, I think as a guy who is very smart and likes to try and be informed on everything and give and tries not to give the media nothing. I give Mike McDaniel, sometimes he goes and does it in his own genius way and distracts you with funny stuff and a lot of football talk, but genuinely doesn't try and no-sell the media when he can. When he can provide info, he does. And so I'm interested on how all of this is going through his mind. How is he handling all this? He's still a rookie head coach. And I do think that for him, you saw how broken up he was about this last week, how upset he was about what happened last week under his watch. And, he has a close relationship with Tua, somebody that he cares about very much. And is a big part of the reason that he got the job was to see the most that he could get out of this guy. And if he felt in any way he let Tua Tagovailoa play when maybe he shouldn't have, or maybe hindsight all be in 2020, I just think that regret and all the people being mad at you. You have people on Twitter, former wrestlers calling for murder charges and lawsuits and all that. I just think that that's a lot for a rookie head coach to be dealing with when you just want to go out there and make sure your player's healthy and you can get the other players ready for the New York Jets. And so I am curious to see how he handles all of this with the scandal, the people being mad, the investigation, all that stuff. He did say yesterday, though, nothing to hide from the Dolphins standpoint when it comes to their whole process.
Like I said before, I'm very, very confident. The only reason I'm confident is because of everything that I've been around since I've been here, with regard to our medical staff and how they go and do their business. But as far as the inquiry that is going on from the league and from the PA, we're very happy to comply with all of those things, and would much rather be as transparent as possible. So, we're happy that all that's taking place, because we do not have anything to hide from that standpoint at all.
So, making it clear there's nothing nefarious going on here with the Dolphins. which has been my favorite word, by the way, using this. I know I've used that basically in every video. But I don't think the Dolphins were up to any evil here. I don't. I think that they took a risk, and I think Tua took a risk in a risky sport, and it ended up in the worst case scenario, the worst possible place, which, is not great, and, put your player in a very dangerous spot, in a place where, he can end up in dangerous spots because these are behemoths rushing after him and trying to crush him. And he's not the biggest dude in the world to take the licks. He's not like Josh Allen, who can shake every tackle. When he gets hit, he gets hit. He's still in that process of learning how to take these hits and not or get rid of the ball faster. By the way, and his counterparts in the draft class, you're seeing that too, with Justin Herbert, who's bigger than Tua, and Joe Burrow, who's a little bigger than Tua. But, I mean, these are guys who are also getting their ass kicked and lit up, with torn ligaments, busted up ribs. We're seeing this all over the league, even with a sport where they really try and protect the quarterbacks. And it's still hard. You're still seeing a lot of backups already have to play this season. But this is obviously an uber sensitive issue because it's the head. It's the head. It's the thing that people like to turn a blind eye to in the NFL. And I do think that the NFLPA is pouncing on an opportunity here because they feel like something wrong went down, and that I don't think they know. I don't know if they know where that wrong is going to come from because now they're saying it's head and back and all that type of stuff. I think they want to find that the Dolphins did something wrong, and unfortunately for the Dolphins, because this has been such a great football year, you'd like to just forget about all this stuff, but it really does feel like they get bit in the ass for the off the field stuff all the time, whether it be last year with the Watson pursuit, the tampering charges, all the stuff. We've been through the list 100 times. And now you have a year where, man, this is all good football feelings, and especially a lot of that has to do with Mike McDaniel and the vibe that he's brought with his team. And for him, I hope that he is able to compartmentalize all of the distractions and off the field stuff this week and put it into going to beat the New York Jets, who look a lot better. They have their quarterback back, and now you have to go win some games like they have with a backup quarterback. And that's this in bringing Teddy Bridgewater. I think we all know. I think the word that is thrown around with him is capable. You're definitely capable of winning some games with Teddy Bridgewater. You definitely feel like you have a softer part of your schedule with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know how many games it's going to be. I think the guessing game should probably be over with Tua. I don't think this is going to be, he never plays again this season. I don't think. Because I do think that the player has an input in it, and I think he's going to push everything he can to go play. But I don't know. I'm not, I think that, as I said, going into last week, I was like, I thought even with a banged up back and ankle, maybe it was the dumbest idea. Maybe it wasn't the dumbest idea to sit him, but I understood after hearing him speak why he was going to go play. I got it. And I do think that still plays a hand. Now, will the coach be a little bit more apprehensive to it? Perhaps. But one thing that is great is the Dolphins still do have Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill has been a menace this year on the field for the Dolphins. He has been an absolute demon. Trying to stop him has been impossible. Everybody thought that he was going to come down here, and it wasn't going to be the same Tyreek Hill. Bull hunky, if anybody's still saying that. It has been unbelievable how good he has been for your Miami Dolphins. Yesterday, asked about playing with Teddy Bridgewater. This was Tyreek Hill when asked about a reporter and putting up numbers.
You said that QB doesn't necessarily matter to your production. I think you said you put up numbers with Alex Smith. You put up numbers with.
I'll put up numbers with you. Come on.
Come on, man. That's the cheetah. The cheetah will put up numbers with anybody. Doesn't matter, dude. He's going to go out there and get his numbers. And he's been fantastic. And look, both the Kansas City Chiefs had their ups and downs, this year. Offensively, they obviously look great on Sunday Night Football. Tyreek throwing a lot of praise their way. But I do think a lot of people scoffed at the idea that he could still be this guy without Patrick Mahomes, and that is not the case. He can put up numbers, like he said, with any reporter, with anybody. He is that fast. He is that much of a difference maker. What was the quote that he put up that I put him numbers with Matt Moore, and that Tua was 10 Matt Moores or something like that? So the cheat has been absolutely fantastic. And really, it was interesting bringing it up that it is Jets week because the Jets were the other team. The Jets were the other team. And the Jets have good weapons and are going to be a tough stop for the Miami Dolphins, who, are a little bit banged up going into this one still. You wonder how the rest has helped guys like Xavier Howard and Jalen Waddle. Will they get Byron Jones back? All this type of stuff. They weren't ready to announce that on Monday, but, and excuse my phone there with this cute little chime, but Tyreek Hill, the other team that was rumored about was the New York Jets, and this is why he did not go.
You know what? It was very close to happening, man. But it's just those state taxes, man. I realized, I had to make a grown-up decision, and here I am in the great city of Miami. Great weather, great people, we're beautiful people. I feel like so. Here I am.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you definitely want the more beautiful people of Miami cheering for you than a dude who dresses like a fireman and gets on his brother's shoulders. Just food for thought. I don't know. But Tyreek Hill being here has been a huge shift for the Miami Dolphins. I think that if we were to talk about the change in perception of the Dolphins this year and why people will give them more of a benefit of the doubt, I think Tyreek Hill's number one. I think he is number one. I feel like he's changed the attitude. I know a lot of people were laughing at him, but he has taken that laughter and done a little bit of I told you so. Yeah, I told you. And everybody, I always found it crazy with Tyreek Hill that people were looking at him and being like, how dare you? It's like, dude, he's Tyreek Hill. Why would he said yesterday, he's like, I could have led the league in receiving every year. Doesn't matter. Every year I could have led the league in receiving, and I appreciate that Mike McDaniel is putting the ball in my hands. And Mike McDaniel, empowering a guy like Tyreek Hill to be a voice, to be a leader for this team has been a huge benefit. I think Mike McDaniel in perception has been number two because with all of the stuff flying around, ownership and front office and the coach who got fired, all that type of stuff, Mike McDaniel's kind of just put a positive spin on it. And then obviously I think all of that, those two guys have led to the buildup of Tua Tagovailoa on top of the fact that he's just improved. So that little that triumvirate there is really the what's I think led to the turnaround in a lot of ways. But I think a lot of it does start with Tyreek Hill. I think a lot of it does have bringing in a guy who has been there, done that, has the credibility, still explosive, been a champion. Just I think brings and breathes an air of confidence into that locker room. That even if Teddy Bridgewater is starting this week, you still got the cheetah. And hopefully a healthier Jalen Waddle on the other side of him because this is a receiver core that is a little bit banged up between Jalen Waddle being hampered and Cedric Wilson we still really haven't seen get going yet. But you got number 10 out there, dude. It is still a dangerous game. It is still a dangerous game and a game changer. Maybe this is going to be a week where if there is more banged up, maybe we do see Mike Gesicki get even more involved in that pass game and they could use him in that outlet and use him as the weapon that he is because, Teddy Bridgewater is going to need all the uplifting that he can get. And, him and Gesicki not really being on the same page there late in that game cost him. But now you have a full week of practice, hopefully getting them in the right mindset as they try and improve to 4-1. But it will be an interesting week for sure because the head coach has a lot to deal with. That's not football. And it's going to be interesting to see how the rookie head coach handles it.